Alright, so next Horde Night, day 63. Game stage is now 176. I'm up to level 85 now. I've gone ahead and moved the blade traps to the exterior routes right there and just rewired everything. I changed the lights out, so I just went with the industrial lights, one on each quadrant pillar. Added the switches are still the same. There's some extra power points now. So come out here, and what I've done out here is I've added blade traps to the exterior sides, just to the entrance to the interior. I put them on motion sensors right here, so that way whenever it sees any zombies running down this path, it'll trigger all these at once. And then I did it for each quadrant. I had to knock out the bars right here just to not obstruct the view of the motion sensor. I could have put it down on that second block there and then left all the bars in place, but I didn't want any chance of them swinging at it and damaging it and then disabling the blade traps whatsoever. So in the future when I build this, I will definitely bring this up one more level and then use that as my floor there. But for right now, everything's fine. Just add some extra relays here so that the lights that, or the switches that trigger these interior blocks now also trigger these exterior defenses. Now, if every single one of these traps were turned on at the exact same time, you would be close to, if not maxing out the batteries for wattage. But since they should not all be firing at once, and since they're all intermittent, power should never really be an issue. But as far as the rest of the base is concerned, I haven't touched anything. Still got wood on the exterior with flagstone, except for in the center parts where the blade traps sit. That's still reinforced. Some damage here, that was just from me doing stuff during the week. Not a big deal. Alright, so let's go ahead and get closed up. I have only loaded these interior traps with 500 dart traps, or darts this time. I left these the same since they were just already there. But the exterior ones I've loaded up, they all have 1500 darts each in each one. So it shouldn't really be that big of an issue. Once again, we're just going to use the flaming mod trick just for testing purposes. And this time I am not going to sit there and just kind of smack them and try to like rub it in their face like I did last time. Because what ended up happening is they ended up managing to destroy one of these blade traps and doing a fair amount of damage to the steel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pathing trick like I discovered a couple videos ago, and whatever path they're coming in at, I'm going to send it the opposite corner. Since we know we have demos now, we have cops, we have radiated, we've tested everything out, there's no reason for me to stand up and watch and make sure everything's working anymore. So now this is more of a true kind of style defense of a passive system. Alright, so let's go ahead and start getting all the defenses turned back on. And as you can see, those 4 industrial lights actually give us better light coverage than the other lights that I was using. That was also one of the reasons why I switched to these instead. Alright, and yep, I sort of remembered to eat and drink before this Horde night, but we should be fine. Alright. Oh, I can hear dogs already. It sounds like they're coming in from right there. Dart traps are already going off, so they're getting interior. That's the other nice thing about the dart traps is you get the visual representation of where they're coming in at. And the other thing you can do is you can actually look at the motion sensors and you'll see that they move to track anything that comes within their visual range. Alright, so we've got actually them coming in from two different angles. Because these blade traps just went off. And those two have been going off pretty regularly. So we're just going to stand over here for right now. Yep, there they go. Alright, so it sounds like I've been hearing some whites. Haven't heard any demos yet. Or cops for that matter. But it is kind of here. Hard to hear, I should say. So as you can see, they're coming in from pretty much every angle right now. I'm curious if the blade trap is actually damaging. Does seem to be actually doing a bit of damage. Alright. Just heard a loot bag drop. Alright, so we got some radiated corpses, some big mamas. And apparently I forgot to wire that trap up like the idiot that I am. I installed it and just forgot to wire it back up. Alright. Well, that's what you get for losing a blade trap. You just act like the idiot that you are. Alright, so yep, some whites. So I guess in this corner we're going to have to rely on the dart traps to do most of the work. So those exterior dart traps do seem to be doing a lot of the extra work now. Very few of them are making it past and into the interior here, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Alright. So with this design, actually, if you wanted to, you could drop the blade traps underneath this pyramid here and just go for straight dart traps. My personal preference is against that because of the ammo usage for every Horde Knight, whereas the blade traps is just single forged steel to repair, whereas the darts, you know, because of the way the motion sensors work, there's no way to individually fire them. I mean, I suppose you could wire pressure plates at the bottom of every single one and just put the dart trap directly above it. But if a cop were to explode or a demo were to go off or something catastrophic, you would lose all of that control and then you would lose all your interior defenses. So by sticking with the blade traps and then providing extra support through the dart traps, you have minimal resource usage per Horde Knight. Alright, some radiated whites. So it seems to be only radiated that are making it to the interior defenses at the moment. Alright, so those are the loot bags I heard drop earlier. And as you can see, we've got some corpses out there in the outer ring. So it sounds like a majority of them aren't even making it past the outer ring. Now I am curious as if those dart traps have run out yet, because I don't really hear them going off too much anymore. And it is possible they've blown through the 1,500 darts already. So we'll have to see it tonight, how it goes. Alright, let's take a look here. So one thing I forgot to look at before we started was my enemy kills. Let's take a look here. So these interior traps, not too bad. 370, 350, 400. So it looks like the majority of them have been coming in from that one area over there. And the rest of these are still pretty good. Alright, so it sounds like they've moved directions now. That'll be good because each one of these quadrants is set up in a different motion sensor. Alright, let's back over here now. I really am kicking myself for forgetting to wire that blade trap back up. I feel like such an idiot. Oh well, what can you do? I have not heard any demos though, but that's not really saying much because they could be dying on the exterior defenses. But then again, I haven't heard many cops either. It's just mostly radiated, big mamas, nurses. So this will be interesting. Of course, last Horde Night, this is when we started getting the demos showing up. So I would not be surprised if... well, there's a cop. And another cop. Alright, what do we got? Radiated. Alright, what triggered that? Radiated. Da, 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 da. Hmm. So it does look like some of the blade traps are actually catching the zombies down the hallways as well. I'm gonna have to change up the way they look, because right now the way I did it is I put the laser pointer, I believe, like right here on the corner. It did catch the end of the hallway. I didn't think it would actually catch a Zed walking through that hallway though. So I might have to tighten it up by bringing it further down. Alright. Another cop died, didn't even make it to the interior. Alright, radiated. Heard some more dogs, but they haven't even made it inside. Sounds like a white, maybe? Now one thing I could do is I could wire up a light out here so that way I know which section they're coming on when the motion sensor triggers for the dart traps. Or just a visual representation so I know where they're coming from. But yeah, it's just one of those extra things you could do. I mean, I could even wire the light in here and change the color to like red or blue or something. So that way all I have to do is just, boom, the light's on. Okay, I know which direction they're coming from now. And in fact, I think I'm actually going to do that on the next Horde night, is I'm just going to wire up some colored lights right here. So that way I know which direction the dart traps are currently firing on. Ooh, that was a radiated, oh, just a regular radiated. Huh, that's weird. Alright. 400, 300, 400, 300, 300, 300, 400. Oh, so these interior blade traps are actually holding out quite well. So I imagine the exterior defenses, I'd be surprised if it blew through more than 1,000 darts. Alright, we got, so another white, another radiated. Alright, what do we got here? Ooh, radiated cowboy. Oop, I just heard a demo. Yep, there he is. Alright. See how this goes. So he's not jumping, so that's actually a good sign. He is pathing over to get to me. Alright. And down he went. Alright. So looks like maybe we lost another blade trap. Nope, good, okay. So that's the one that doesn't work. Perfect. So, everything is working quite well. got over there? Alright. I need to remember, it's the southwest corner blade trap that needs to be rewired up, since it... The question is, which one was it tied into? Alright, so it looks like it was tied into that relay right there. Okay. So the southwest goes to the west relay. And looks, there we go. Horde Night is over, except for we have a demo being taken out. Alright. Let's get over here in this corner. And there we go. Morning time. So we'll finish off this. Alright. So there he went. There we go. No. It's very nice. Alright, we'll leave the defenses running for another minute. I just want to listen. Because I keep hearing a zombie. Alright. Let's go ahead and shut everything off now. Alright. So actually I suppose we can leave these running, because they're triggered for dart traps only on... Alright, so let's take a look. We had a couple birds. Alright, so that's fine. I'll go ahead and get the charging back on. Alright, so yep, typical power usage. We went through a battery and a half. So not bad. Get you back on. And this one, the reason this one is completely drained is it was actually in this battery bank and I forgot to turn the charger on. So what I did is I just swapped it out. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so the exterior defenses didn't even burn through a single battery. Alright. Awesome. Alright, let's take a look here. So, 420. Interesting number. 398. 340. And 350. So yeah, we only burned through maybe 200 darts on each trap, so there's 6 traps, so that's 1200 darts per side, which is not bad at all. Alright, let's take a look at damage. Alright, so interior blade trap, typical damage, nothing on the exterior here. Exterior blade traps took minimal damage like normal. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, so that's typical. This is all typical damage so far. Look, as you can see, no damage whatsoever to the external structure. The reason for that is the AI pathing does not see it as a valid path or target because you are not standing on it. As I was explaining earlier today to a friend, what I'm doing is I am abusing the AI ground pathing algorithm. So the reason the AI does not see this as a valid structure is because it sees it as part of the ground that is not part of this structure here. Alright, so we did take quite a fair bit of damage here. I'm guessing that's from one of the demos or one of the other Zeds, probably a White Walker that was beating on it because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so these corner ones are not taking damage from the dart traps, so that is a good sign. Alright, so with the dart traps now, we have taken very minimal damage to the traps. That is awesome. And very minimal damage to the interior pyramid. So it looks like we can call this an astounding success. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. See you guys later.